To everyone out there in YouTube land, Merry Christmas. So, it's been a very interesting year. A lot of things have happened. It's been a good time overall. Last Christmas, I received a very special present from a man who I respected in many ways. That man's name is Dave Rubin. He is a TV talk show host guy, actually more like internet guy. He is an internet guy who made a show called The Dave Rubin Report with Dave Rubin. Now the show was all about open dialogue and conversations, having the kind of talks that other people are not willing to have because it's too interesting for other people's minds to handle. And he was taking on the regressives, which means basically a PC liberal, somebody who can't criticize things because they're too scared of being called racist or sexist or homophobic or something. So they won't just walk into a room with black people and be like, yo, what's with all these niggers? Because they'd get in trouble because that's not PC. So instead they'd come in and they'd say, hello, African Americans. And then people would be like, regressive. Something like that. But Dave Rubin, he wanted to be the guy who just came into the room and was like, yo, you niggers are a problem. Someone has to say it. Someone's got to say that about you people. Yes, you people. Oh, you're gonna call me racist? I don't care, because I ain't regressive. Except it was more like Muslims. Like, you see some Muslims, you're like, hey, ragheads, you're terrorists. And then they're like, whoa, hey, we're gonna stop doing 9/11 because you criticized us. Yeah, respect. And then you do like the bones or whatever. And then Dave Rubin will be like, yes, because I got balls of steel. And I will call it like it is, motherfucker. So that was the guy. That was the man that I looked up to. But I started to feel after maybe 2 months of his show that he was going on and on about regressive a little bit too much. In fact, that's all he ever talked about. He would even ask guests who didn't really know what the fuck regressive is. So, what do you think of the regressive problem? And he'd be like, and the guest would be like, the what? Dave Rubin would explain, and then they would try to like fit their answer around this weird thing that Dave Rubin can't stop bringing up because there's something wrong with his brain. He's just like, regressive, 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 regressive. That's like the only thing he can talk about. So the author would be like, yeah, it's a big problem. I don't like the regressives either. And he never has on any left-wingers or anything, so I gave him shit for this. As far as I'm concerned, regressive is very divisive. It just breaks people into camps and says you're not pure enough. You have to talk about things exactly the same way I talk about it, otherwise you're not as mighty and fantastic a person as I am. In fact, I think that's kind of like virtue signaling. You are signaling that, yeah, I am so virtuous, I am so liberal, because I'm like Islamic jihad terror. Yeah. The problem is the brown people. The problem is the Muslims. It's all about those goddamn Muslims doing all the terror and stuff. Look at me, I'm a badass. I'm contributing to the solution somehow by saying that. And anyone who's not doing that, they're not liberal and they're not pure. They're not as great as me, they're regressive. And Dave was just stuck in that well of regressivism. That's all he ever fucking talked about. So I gave him shit about it, and then for Christmas of last year, I received the ultimate Christmas present of all. I was blocked by Dave Rubin. And today is Christmas Day, and it has been 1 year since that has happened. And a lot of things have occurred, but I'm still blocked by Dave Rubin. I was hoping this could be a Christmas where I could say to all my loved ones, like, hey, guys, the person who talks about free ideas and open conversation about everything, and everything is just so pure with him, he's unblocked me because I've fit his expectations and he heard that I was a good man and now I'm unblocked, but no such luck. I guess that means I'm still regressive. So it's been a whole year and I still haven't grown out of this regressive thing. Fuck. From now on, my entire channel is going to be dedicated to talking about them damn Muslims. Fucking Muslims. If it wasn't for those damn Muslims, the world would be better. Fucking Muslims. Muslims, goddamn Muslims. Fuck Muslims. So, like, hopefully someone can cut that bit out and send it to Dave. So how have things been going since I've been blocked by Dave Rubin? Well, I got engaged to be married. So, I've been seeing this girl for maybe like a year and a half. We got engaged, and it was a very fantastic thing. We were actually at the wake of her uncle who had died. of cancer mixed with old age. And we were at the wake and everyone was sad, and they were like, we need a happy story this year, something that can, you know, make people glad, because we've had a lot of tragedy. You know, it's not been a happy year, there's bad things been going on. So then, right there at the wake, we looked at each other and we were like, hey, let's get married. And I felt pretty fantastic about that, and I still feel very glad. And I have a lot of appreciation that I have someone that I can be with in that fashion. So we made the announcement, we were very happy, and so I briefly went to the bathroom, and I lifted the lid, sat down on the toilet seat, got up my phone to tell people on Twitter, and the first thing I saw was someone replying to Dave Rubin. I was like, wonder what they're saying. So I clicked on the tweet, and I was still blocked by Dave. All of the joy of this new thing in my life that I never expected I would do drained away, and I remembered that I'd offended this guy, and I'd said something wrong. And the man who's fighting for open and free speech, and for open dialogue between all different sides, he still had me blocked for not meeting his expectations, and for not being up to scratch for him, and for being too regressive. And it was hard, I gotta admit, it was quite hard to appreciate my engagement after that point. And I think it's put a bit of a damper on my relationship, to be honest. You know, I thought this would be a good Christmas, but I'm still blocked by Dave Rubin, so what is there to feel that happy about, to be perfectly honest? My presents can't really make up for this. Doesn't matter how much I get, how many presents I get given, how many loved ones I'm surrounded by. I'm still blocked by Dave Rubin. And now I'm starting to feel like I won't ever get unblocked by Dave Rubin. Will I ever be a not regressive? Will I ever stop being a cuck and a social justice warrior? Will I ever stop being feminazi? I remember getting the results for my exams and thinking, this is good. Not quite as good as if I were unblocked by Dave Rubin. Then this would be a little bit better, because I'd be like, whoa, 89% on this exam. Hey Dave, what do you think of this? And then he'd be like, good stuff, Tim, but he doesn't want to hear about it. So, and I wouldn't mind going on a show, but I'm not a classical liberal, like Dinesh D'Souza, or Milo Yiannopoulos, or Godsad, who's this sort of Lebanese brown man who is obsessed with the castrati. I don't understand the internet. So that's it. That's just my update. You can see my video from exactly 1 year ago on the same day. And I guess I'll be back in a year to talk about how Dave unblocked me. We started having a dialogue, and then he suddenly realized, you know what? People on the left don't have something nefarious that they're trying to do. They're not trying to silence me by saying racist or sexist or misogynist or whatever. It's not something I like, but they're just legitimately saying how they see things. They're just giving their opinion about what they think of the side effects of these words. But okay, they can be a bit snap-happy with saying you're a racist. It's better to sit down and have a dialogue. But you can't have a show where you say you're talking about the open ideas and that you're having a conversation when you only have on people who have a very specific, narrow point of view, and it's always related to PC culture. You need to talk to some progressives. You need to talk to some people who don't have the same point of view as you. To have on people that both you challenge and they challenge you. And that it's not just an echo chamber where you sort of broadly agree on everything, because you're not talking to both sides of the issue. You're kind of on the sidelines sniping at people on the other side without actively engaging with them, and then when they engage with you and even challenge you on something fundamental to you, such as the concept of regressive, you can't take it and you block them and you make some excuse. You know, you can't run a show like that. So I'm thinking Dave will have a revelation, and then he'll be like, Alright, well, I should unblock this guy and let's have a conversation. I should try to engage with people instead of just smearing them as dishonest and discarding them. And that means that next Christmas is going to be the best Christmas of all. Mark my words. Next year, Unblocked by Dave Rubin, 2017. Let's make it happen. Dave, if you're listening, this alcohol is to quench my regrets. I was never good at chugging.